Hey everybody. I always start out with don't I? I guess that's just what I say when trying to figure out what I'm gonna talk about. So I baked? Yeah, that's correct. I boke. I baked a cake. Oh, my nose is so dry. I baked a cake and cupcakes for some friends of mine who got married yesterday. I stayed up all night Saturday into Sunday morning because my icing was too thin. It wasn't sticky enough. And the reason I made the icing the way I did is mostly because I ran out of heavy whipping cream. But my mom saved me. Our neighbor Kim, my mom's name is Kim too. Not two, it's number 2. My mom's name is Kimberly. And our old neighbor Kim, who used to live pretty close by, told my mom about this cool stuff that the Mennonite people sold at their stores. Basically what it is whipped topping. It's powder, and you add milk. I think it's equal parts powder, equal parts milk, and then you beat it with a blender until it gets all frothy and fluffy and awesome. So, and that's what I needed. I wanted what the base I already had was butter and sugar and vanilla. And I opened my heavy whipping cream and it was clotted and gross, and I guess I had just had it like 1 or 2 days too long because it's not that old. It wasn't that old at the time. So I was kind of lost and freaking out, and I didn't know, like, how do I salvage this? This is the only icing materials that I had at the moment. I will be getting more. I guess I could have made, like, an icing instead of a frosting. Maybe I'm saying that backwards. I could have made a glaze instead of full-on frosting, but it's a wedding cake. It needed to be pretty, and so anyway, that saved my, frosting recipe. And once I started frosting the cake, which I had already had pre-frosted, just the basic, to make it stick together, and I put a small coating of frosting on the outside so that whatever I put on it would stick better, which is what I've been learning from watching things online because I'd never made a wedding cake before. I'm sure if it was a sheet cake or something, it would have been really easy, and, you just basically frost the whole top, and then do a border and whatever special tidbits you're going to put on the top of it in the middle. But that's not the case. I made a 3-tier cake because I figured everybody would want some, and it turns out everybody ate the cupcakes instead, which is fine. I mean, it's their party. That's what their guests wanted, so that's what they got. And so finally, after icing it twice with white icing, thank goodness, the icing kind of just melted off. So I had to thicken it up again, and I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to do it or what I had that would work, because it already had the whipped topping in it. as part of the ingredients. So I scoured around my kitchen, I looked in the fridge, and I saw a little brick, a regular sized brick of cream cheese. And I said, oh, thank goodness. So I used that, and it thickened it up. I had a big bowl of, of the original icing. So I got a smaller bowl and put some of it in there and mixed it with the cream cheese, and it turned out pretty good. And then I used even smaller bowls and used food coloring, which I don't personally like. I don't like using an actual food dye, because we've all heard stories about how bad it is and what they can do, and some people are literally allergic to the colors because whatever they do to make them, I guess they're just allergic to them. So I was kind of uncomfortable to do that, but that's what the bride wanted, so that's what she got. And it's still melted a little bit, but that's only because it took me so long to actually get it all on the cake. So that was my fault. I should have turned my heater off and cooled it down in here to about 60, which I could have done, but I didn't think about it. I could have done it outside, but I don't think that's very sanitary. So I did what I could, and they loved it.